and a lot more jobs. So my name is Bryam Loaiza. I'm from Ecuador, but I live in the US. I came to the US maybe 10, 11 years ago. And, I went through the whole education system and graduated. And after that, I started working for different companies like Cisco, NetApp, and other companies. So the journey, I'll tell you a little bit about my journey first, and then maybe we can dive into this. So basically, I graduated as an electrical engineer, and then I decided I was working already, and I was like, I was doing a little bit of software. So then I really liked to do software. I enjoyed it a lot, and at that moment was when I decided to actually switch to software engineering. So the first thing that I decided to do was to create like a resume, because my resume was meant to be an electrical engineer resume, right? So I decided to switch to software engineering, and I had to create like a resume from scratch. And I started doing it using Word, Microsoft Word, and I just noticed that it was super difficult to create one resume using like Word. So then I spent like maybe 5 hours or 3 to 4 hours, I don't know, 3 to 5 hours just creating my resume, and it was really frustrating, just moving all the layouts. I didn't know like what was the margin supposed to be, how many space I was supposed to put between like the lines and whatnot. So that's when I decided to actually uh, create the software that's called Resume Boost AI, which is like a resume builder, just to help like job seekers. So it just started as a problem that I had, and then I just wanted to bring a solution to that problem, and that's how it came out to be, right? So then I created the software, and then I was like, okay, this was my logic back at that time. I was like, okay, I'm gonna create this, and then I'm gonna put this project as a project in my portfolio, right, or in my resume as well, so that people can see that I know a little bit about software engineering or software development. So that's basically how it started, and then I created like my resume using the software, and so it was like a win-win for me, right? I had a lot of like electrical engineering experience. And one of the tips that I can give you, like if you're trying to switch careers, you want to emphasize the new career as much as you can. So like I had like a lot of like electrical engineering, but I did also some software engineering during the jobs that I had where I was doing electrical engineering. So I just try to emphasize those tasks instead of the electrical engineering tasks, right? So that's one thing. And then I was just trying to switch the entire like my entire resume to be like more software engineering like. And yeah, that's how Resume Boost AI was born. And right now it helps like a lot of like job seekers um, to learn to create the resumes and to land more jobs and to create cover letters. And also it has some free tools that you can use to optimize your resume and check for mistakes, or if it's if it can be parsed well and whatnot. So that's related to Resume Boost AI. And then right now I'm a software engineer, so I switched my career successfully, you could say, after like a long time, maybe 2 or 3 years. That's another thing. Actually, switching your careers is one of the hardest things that you will be doing if you're trying to do that. Just because if you got like a degree, doing something like, let's say, mechanical engineering, right? And then you want to go and do something completely different, then it's super difficult, because they're going to look at you by your degree. And if your degree says like you're a mechanical engineer, then it's just it's super hard, right? So that's what I can tell you. But you just have to keep applying. You just have to try to optimize your resume, see what works, see what doesn't work, and just keep changing it all the time. So I think it's a good time to actually show you software, to show you how to use it, and maybe that will help a lot of people. Let's see this. Mm. Okay, so I have, let's connect this really quick. So I didn't have it connected. And at the end of this, I will be, taking some questions as well. So like, if you have any questions related to anything, don't hesitate to ask. Some technical issues here. Okay. Let's see. Entire screen. All right. So, I hope that you can see this. You guys can see it, right?
Yes.
You can
Yes,
see
we
it,
can.
right? Okay, nice. Yeah, so this is the software. It's called resumeboostai.com. And here you can create your resume, you can create cover letters, and as I said, you can use some of the free tools that it provides to you so that you can check your resume for different things, right? And I'll let you explore the entire page, but you can go to tools if you want to get started quickly. And here you have different tools. You have a cover letter generator, bullet point generator, and you have many more tools here. But you can explore these. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. Let's just go to the resume, to how to create the resume itself, right? So like the resume builder. So just create here, just click here. Here you can drop your resume in PDF format, and then it will parse this. The parser is not perfect because sometimes you have maybe like a resume that's 2 columns or something like that. So then that's gonna get messed up by the parser, so it won't work 100% of the time. But you can always create a new one from scratch, or you can upload, and then you'll have to do some formatting. So this is one that I created so that I could show you. It's already created, but I can just show you some of the things that you want to put in your resume and some of the things that you don't want to put in your resume. Okay, so, well, name, that's a given, right? And then a short bio. So the short bio, I recommend to be maybe 1 or 2 sentences max. I've seen a lot of resumes that have like 4 or 5 sentences. You just want to go straight to the point and say like, I'm looking for this, or I'm doing this, or I did this. So in this case, you can say like, I'm a software engineer with experience in this and that, right? DevOps and SRE, which is site reliability engineering principles. And then, I'm committed to doing this or something like that, or looking for like a Python developer role, and I've done Django and I've done this or that, right? So that's how you want to do it. And here you can use any of this, or you can just write it yourself. So like if you write it, you can see that it changes on the right. So you use, someone is saying that they don't see the screen. Does everyone else see the screen? I think everyone else sees the screen, right?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, yeah, there is
Yeah, yes.
doesn't see it, I guess. Okay. Maybe I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah. So if everyone is seeing the screen, that's good. Okay. So here you can use any of these AI to make it better. So this is gonna rewrite it, and you can also record yourself and just say like I'll just say something like something like a short thing, like software engineer looking for web applications or something like that. It's gonna record the entire thing. See, it keeps it record. So software engineer building web applications in Python and JavaScript. So see, so then you can just also record yourself or record the bio and whatnot, okay? So that's one of the features. The information, you always want to include the email, the phone where they will contact you, the location. So you don't have to put like the city, you don't have to be super specific. You can just put North Carolina, but like if it's in the US at least, you want to put like the city so that they know where you're located, because the states are big. So if you put North Carolina, that's way too big. So your LinkedIn is also like a good thing to include. Now, like resumes and LinkedIn go by the hand, right? So you want to have both. You want to have like a good resume, and you also want to improve your LinkedIn to have like the same information that your resume has, and even you can expand on LinkedIn because it has like unlimited space. I recommend keeping your resume 1 page long. You don't want to make it more than 1 page, just because then it gets the recruiters receive like a lot of resumes, so you don't want to be the one that's too long and they don't want to read it because it's too long, right? So Try to keep it compact, try to keep it simple and boring. I guess try to keep it boring. That's the main thing. In this world, like boring wins. So like if your resume is boring, it doesn't have any like outlandish design or outlandish things going on, then you'll win because it will be easy to parse by the ATS parsers. Okay, the headshot you can include it by clicking here, and then you can upload like a photo. I'm not gonna do it here in the US. It's not customary to do this, to have like a headshot. Some people have it, but like most of the people don't have like a headshot. I don't know how it is in your country. I don't know if you guys require a headshot or not, but you can add it if you need to. The education, I like to put the education right after the personal information just because it's related to you. It's related to where you have studied and all of the things that you've done. It's a good practice to only put like your bachelor degree studies. So you don't want to go back to your school or high school. I've seen people put the high school. I don't think it's needed because at least they already know you completed the high school if you have like a degree in like a, I don't know which level it is, like a third level, I think. Yeah, but like if you have a bachelor, they know that you, I mean, it's most likely that you had like that you passed your high school and everything was correct, right? So you want to put your school graduation date. You can put it if you want to. Maybe it's not a good idea. Sometimes it's a good idea. I wouldn't put it just because if you don't have much work experience and you have, let's say that I have here May 2016, right? Then and I have started working in February or something like that, or after some time. So then they will start asking you like, so why the long gap? So why, so you graduated in May 2016, right? So how come you started working in April after 2 years, right? So then you have to give more explanations. So if this is close to the first start of the first job that you had, that's good. If not, don't include it. Just gonna cause to just more questions, right? Okay. GPA, it's not needed. I just had it here just for fun. You can include it if you want to. It's not gonna affect much if you already got the degree, which is what counts. At least in the US, that's what counts. And once again, you can add more schools. Maybe you went to a community college, but if I were you, I wouldn't put it. I went to a community college and I don't have it. I went to community college for 2 years, and then I went to New Jersey Institute of Technology for another 2 years. But then this is the one that counts, and this is the one where I got my degree. So then I'm not going to include the community college. So that's there. The skills. So the skills could be here, or they can go at the bottom. So you can move the sections as well. As you can see, I'm just gonna have them there so that I can show you. But I like to keep them at the bottom, but you can have them whatever you feel like it's better. Okay, and then here you can say some skills. You can have some skills. Like I'm just gonna copy some. Okay, from. And I'll show you this thing as well. So this is another feature of the software. So like if you go to, you just copy the job description. So you see that it has some skills like AWS, Lambda, S3, MongoDB, DynamoDB, and all of that. So I'm just gonna paste the job description and then match job description. So this is gonna give you, it's gonna extract the skills and it's gonna put them in your resume. So let's say that I'm applying for that job. So I'll just go easy apply and upload this resume. And what's this gonna do? It's gonna match the skills, the keywords that are here. It's gonna match it to the ones that they're looking for. So then you have you have more chances to actually go through the system because it's matching some of the keywords that you have. Of course, you don't want, like if you don't have some of them, you don't want to put them because if they ask you, then it's kind of lying, right? So just try to, like if you're a software engineer, right? So like you can just go on YouTube, you can just have like maybe have like a certification or like a course or do like a boot camp, right? Where you learn all of these skills and then you can actually add them. But if not, if you just want to say that you've done them, you can also do this trick, right? So with when trying to match the skills to the job description, this is just like a game of keywords. So like if they're mentioning Python, if it's like a Python role or something like that, so this is like a software engineering node role, right? Yeah, it's node. So you want to be able to show that you know node because they're looking for that, right? Or some things related to node, so like JavaScript, right? And Node is written in JavaScript. So if you know JavaScript, you most likely know Node, right? So it's just a game of keywords. So you have to analyze that with all the, it depends on the job that you're applying, right? But like different jobs ask for different things. See here they have like TensorFlow, PyTorch, that's Python. So you get the gist of it, okay? So that's regarding the skills. And then here the experience. The experience is one of the most important parts. So you want to have 2 to 3 bullet points for each experience. If you have more than 3, it's a little bit long, and it's like you're emphasizing that role too much, right? So you want to have everything to be, it has to be like even with the other job experiences, right? Of course, if you don't have much job experiences, if you just had one job, let's say, then it's fine if you just expand on that job because you need to show something, right? But in this case, this person has like 4 roles, right? And you see how it has like a ton of experience here. And this one is good. It has like 4, so which is completely fine. But you like if you just want to have maybe 3 or 4, that's fine. And in this case, you have the company name, the location. It's in California. The job title is important. The dates are super important. So this is like a given. You need to have that. And another thing related to the keywords. So you want to mention keywords once again. So refactor complex data structures in C++. So this is like a keyword. Flume, I don't know how to pronounce that, but Flume, let's say that's Flume. VS Code, right? So these are keywords that you want to have so that you can, if you're looking for a role related to that, you want to have those keywords. And if you already have them here, maybe it's a good idea not to list them here, or maybe you want to list them in both places. That's completely fine. But just remember that the space is limited. So if you can maybe mention C++ and Flume here, so then you don't have to put it here. So then it's going to save you space so that you can add something else like JavaScript or something like that, right? So it's all about space. It's all about keywords. And you want to keep it one page, as I said before. Okay, so then how to write it, how to write a good bullet point. So you want to say the technology that you use. In this case, let's read this one. Refactor complex data structures in C++ and Flume, right? So you're explaining what you did using what tool. So that's always important. And leading to, so what were the results of it? So enhance indexing and search performance at a scale. See, this is like a strong bullet point because you're saying, okay, I use this tool and I did this to achieve this, right? So that's how you want to write it. Also, it's good if you write it like with numbers and you say like I did, or I affected this much people, or I did this and that, right? So see, develop a high performance reverse index. That's what you did, capable of processing over, see, and then you give them like a number. It's processing this amount of files, improving this, and that was the result. There you're not mentioning like the tool, but like if you say like develop a high performance reverse index, I don't know, using Python and something else, I don't know exactly, but like using Python, capable of processing over, see, that's a little bit better, because once again, you want to say what you did, with which tool you did it, or which technologies, languages you did it, and what were the results of it, okay? That's another thing. Yeah, engineer, we're not going to go over all of this, but that's the gist of it. Engineer full stack applications using Go and TypeScript, see, mentioning the tool, transforming UI mockups, so this was like the task. And well, the result, in this case, a little bit vague. It's a little bit vague because you're just saying a focus on user experience. Okay, maybe just to improve user experience, so you can change that, right? So yeah, so this is the bullet points. And once again, you have here the AI, so just to help you rewrite it, or just you can record it, just talk, and then write your resume. Okay, so here we have more bullet points, and more bullet points. Okay, so you get the gist of it. Maybe we can look at another one. So here, say convert manual test plans to automated scripts using Python, Groovy, and Jira's script runner. So all of these are automation tools which are related, and you converted some of the manual test plans to automated. So that was the task, right? And then integrated this into Jenkins for continuous testing. So you see, that's the result. So just try to do it in that way, or write it in that way. And you see that this is like a short bullet point. It's like two sentences, or that's just one continuous sentence. So you can see that's not like long, like that's super short, right? And it's to the point. So that's how you want to keep it. And you can always rewrite your bullet points. Okay, and then projects, references. This is really up to you. Like if you want to include projects. In my case, I do have some projects. And when I have a project, let me just remove maybe one of this so that you can see it. Okay, yeah, project. So here I have the project just because you know, I like to show that I did something for like in software engineering, the way that you show that you did something is with projects, right? So that's why you want to show something. Here you can say just you know, create resumes using AI or something like that, right? And maybe then you want to put like the link to it so that people can go and see it. And then when it was created, so then you put like when it was created, right? But this is optional. I've seen some people have it, other people don't have it. This is, it depends on you. If you have projects that are related and are gonna help you with the application, then include them, okay? Okay, so let me hide this. And then, yeah, so in this case, that's that. And then for the styling, you don't wanna go with something super crazy. I have a lot of colors here, but these are still conservative. It's not anything crazy, right? So you want to go with a good font. That one is a good one. You don't want to use those like weird ones, right? This is like a resume. It's like something that has to look professional. So you don't want to look too outlandish. Just want to be, you know, like that. See, that's simple. You know, it's boring, but it works. And then the font usually, it depends on how much things you have on your resume, the content of it. So this is like a 10 font size, and 10 is kind of small, right? But like you can go with 11, but it becomes like this just because of the font. So then you just have to choose like a good font. You just have to play with it. But usually these fonts are good, and the font size maybe from 10 to 12, depending on the content once again. And you can also do some you can kind of like beat the system by like, let's say that you don't have much experience, right? So maybe you want to use like or maybe you just have one job and then you have like a lot of experience for that job. So then you can just make it a little bit bigger by changing the font, and then it's going to occupy the entire space, right? So that's also good. Top border, this has to do with that. So this is just a design of a resume. You can, you don't have to include any of this. The more simple it is, the better. Let's see. And here, yeah, these are just to move like the name and stuff like that. I usually just put it on the side. I like it like that. Here you want to make it bigger. You don't want to make it too big. Maybe 12 or 20 or 22, but that's it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how you create like a resume. Once again, if you want to move the skills, you can move them down there. I don't remember where I have them. I think I have them here on my resume. And then the spacing, I already give you the spacing that you need. You don't want to have everything going to the edge of the line. So you have to try to have some space on the sides, and then also some space on top and bottom, because it looks better. And once you're done, then you can just download your resume. It's in a PDF format. Try to use like a PDF format. Don't go for the doc X, because then they have to convert. Sometimes, that's another hurdle that you're putting, ahead of yourself. So try to get it in PDF to the recruiters or to the people that you're gonna send your resume to. It's just like a practice, like a common practice, okay? And then once again, if you're just applying for jobs, go to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a good place. And here you can have different resumes. So you can maybe it's not going to show me here, but you can upload different resumes, and then depending on maybe this is like a mobile full stack engineer, right? So then I have created like a resume that's optimized for mobile. So then I'll talk about React Native, I'll talk about Flutter, I'll talk about Xcode, Swift. So all of those keywords are related to mobile. So then I can use that resume to submit for mobile roles, right? To mobile software full stack engineering, but related to mobile applications. If you have like say React Native, so this would be another one. And then when you apply, you can just select from LinkedIn gives you like a list of resumes that you can use. So then you can have different resumes, right? And then if it's backend, Then you can also have like a resume for backend, and then you can mention Node.js, Python. You can mention different things that are related to that. Front end, the same thing. So once again, it's just like a game of keywords and how you present your resume. It's more the keywords than the resume itself or the content itself. So just try to play with it, see what works for you. There is no magic bullet. I'm not saying that all of these tips will work. Most of them do work because it's a game of keywords, but in the end, you can get a job with no experience, with experience. It really depends, okay? And yeah, no, that's all I wanted to say about how to create a resume. If you have any questions, you can ask them now, I guess, but yeah. And thank you for the applause. It looks pretty cool here on the screen. Yeah, so I see I have to open the queue, right? Let's see. Okay, I see you raise your hand and I have it here. I just don't see the questions. How does this work, John? I haven't done this. I know someone raised their hand and I see him. So do I have to?
Okay. Okay, good evening.
I think you're good. Okay.
Good evening.
Hello.
Okay. What of if you don't have a degree yet?
Mhm.
Hello?
So, yes. So the question is, if you don't have a degree,
Yes.
okay, are you trying to get a degree? Are you studying to get a degree, or is that something that you won't have?
No, I'm trying to get a degree.
Okay, so let's say that you don't have a degree. Then, if you don't have a degree, you can just say that you're currently, trying to get that degree. But try to include the education. So, if you're trying to get a degree, you can just say the same thing that's here, but then you can say something here like, I don't know, maybe. I wouldn't say anything, to be honest. So like I'll just put like the dates. So let's say that you start in 2020, right? And it's usually it's 4 years. So then I'll just say September and then 2024, right? So then I'll just have it like that. And let's say that today is August or something like that, right? So then they know that you haven't completed your degree, that you're trying to get it, right? So you're still working towards it, but you want to include it because it's always good to include it. And you can put something here in progress or something like that. See, you can just say something like that. So it really depends on you, but you do want to say like, I'm working towards that, because if you don't have like a degree, they won't know like, let's say that you're applying for a role, right? So they don't know what you are or what you're trying to what your degree is in, right? So what's your specialization, right? You don't know that. They don't know that, right? So that's why you want to include your degree. It's always to include your degree. And you can always say like it's in progress, or you want to mention it, but it's better to put it, and maybe you don't want to mention in progress, okay? Because this doesn't look good. So maybe you want to leave it like that. And the moment that they call you, they'll ask you, they'll say like, oh, so do you have a degree? Did you graduate? But at that point, you have more chances to get the job because you're already, you already set your foot on the door. If you don't put it, they'll reject it automatically. I'm not saying that they all reject it if you don't have an education, but I'm just saying like, let's say that you don't have it and then they are looking for someone with that degree. Then they'll see your resume and then they'll say, okay, this person doesn't have an education. I'm just gonna reject it, auto reject it. So if you have it and you explain it like that with the dates or maybe saying like in progress, then they can, at least they can ask you personally, right? So you'll go to the first filter, so you'll get to the interview, you'll get to the call that they make like a call, and then they'll ask you like, oh, do you have a degree? And then you can explain things. And they're recruiters, they're human beings, so they'll understand, and then maybe they'll let you pass, right? So maybe they'll say like, okay, so if you're working towards the degree, then you can, you can still have the job, and then when you complete it, you let us know and whatnot, right? But you have more chances at that point, right? So if you don't put it, it's kind of auto-rejecting yourself, so you don't want to do that. And if you still haven't completed it, then just put the name of the degree, the school, and then when you'll complete it. So then you can put the dates. Yeah. Any more questions? Okay, so I see a question here. Let's see. For those transitioning to another career, does it matter adding previous experiences that's not relevant to the new path? That's a good question. That's a very good question. That was my, I had that problem as well. So I had a lot of like electrical engineering experience, and I didn't have any of the software engineering experience. So it's difficult to switch if your resume looks like that, right? Because you're something completely different than what you're applying for. So in that case, so let's say that you did, in my case, it was a little bit easier because I was doing electrical engineering and I did a lot of, I did some programming, right? So then I just rewrote my bullet points. And instead of saying like working with circuits or working with Faraday's law or working with that, I said what I did related to software engineering. So then I did like, okay, I did programming in C++ to help this system, this electrical system or something like that, right? So just try to rewrite it so that it looks that you were, of course, if you did it. If you didn't do it, then it's kind of lying, right? And you don't want to do that. But in that case, you can just maybe do like a boot camp, or maybe then the projects come in, right? So then you can maybe, if you're doing software or you want to do software engineering, it's a little bit easier because you can just build some stuff. You can build tools, you can build websites, and then you can include them. You can include them on the, sorry, I was saying the other question. Yeah, so then you can include them on your resume, and that's gonna fill in, like the sections where you don't have anything related to the role that you're applying for. So you'll have to, it's a little bit harder, but it's not impossible. So maybe work on projects, maybe, I don't know, get like a certification from Google or something like that. And I would say, I don't know, do like a boot camp or something like that, but do something that's related to that role so that you can include it on your resume, okay? And then if you did something related to what you're applying for, then you can just rewrite the bullet points. But I would say, if it's not relevant, I guess that's the question, right? If it's not relevant, then don't add it, unless you need to fill in something on your resume. Because if, let's say that it's not relevant, but then you don't have more experience, right? Then it's better to add it. Otherwise, your resume is gonna be empty. But if you have like a lot of experience and that's not related to the role, then just remove it. Like for me, just to keep it one page, I've had like plenty of jobs, right? And some of them are not related to software engineering. So then I just remove them because they just are not related. So I'm not applying for that, right? So then it's gonna have little impact. Yeah, so that's that. Give me a second here. Just try to. Okay, so next question. Is there no section for certifications such as professional or program certificates? Yes, there is a section for that as well. So you can, I'll show you here. There is no section, but you can add it. So if you go to this here, yeah, this is for projects, but it could be for anything, right? So you can just change this, right? But I'm not gonna mess with this one. I'll mess with this one here. So this is like a custom section, so I'll just put like certifications or something like that. And then I'll say like Google UX, UI. I don't know if that's a certification. It's just, I'm just making this up. Certification, or this is spelling here. Okay. Or you can just say, boot camp, intern, boot camp, or something like that. I don't know. And then, let's see. Yeah, so you see it here, right? So then you can just bring it up if you want to, because of the font here. So let me change the font. Something better, yeah. Good. I don't like that one. Yeah, but you get the point, right? So then you'll just have to accommodate for the new things. Yeah, this looks wonderful. Yeah, here, certification. So then you have the certifications. But maybe it's better to add the certifications and then put them at the top. You have to see where it looks better. Skill certification may be related to education. So maybe you can also add in education if you don't want to have its own section. So maybe here you want to, instead of a school, you just say like intern pulse bootcamp, for example. And then you'll say the dates if you want to say the dates. If no, it's fine. And then, I don't know, like certification to, yeah, something like that, right? And you can also include it in the education if you want to. If not, you can include it down here. And for the last question, or I mean, for the previous question, the question that was related to the, if you don't have a degree, you can put like this, the dates. You can put from June this to the present. So then they know that you're still in progress, right? So that's another thing. Okay, let's see. Let's go with the other question. What if someone has no prior experience? What can be inputted in the experience section then? Okay, so that's a hard one just because you don't have, previous experience. So then it's gonna be kind of hard to have, like, to put everything or to get a job. So in that case, that's when it comes to you and doing like a lot of work. So then you'll have to, once again, this is for me, it's because I'm a software engineer, right? So it's different because I can just create stuff. And also, if you're like something completely different, like a different career, you can do the same thing. You can also work on projects. So in that case, I would pick up some certifications. I would maybe go to like a bootcamp or take like a bootcamp. So then you can include something. So then you can include something here. And if you don't have any experience, then you can use that here. So then instead of company, then you'll just say intern, pulse, internship or something like that. And then you can say like, I don't know, apprentice software engineer. This is just like an example, right? And then you can say develop like a web application to create images using AI. And then, using, I don't know, using what, ChatGPT or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so then you can actually have that experience from the internship or like from the boot camp, and then you can include it in the experience, and then you can expand on that. In that case, it's a good thing to have maybe 5 or 7 bullet points just because you don't have more experience, right? And then it depends on you, and then you just have to just work on projects, get certifications, or the other thing is just to go and get like a job, right? And I know it's kind of doesn't make sense because you're trying to get a job, but you don't have any experience to show for, right? So in that case, you'll have to, just reach out to people and say like, okay, I'm a software engineer, I'm doing this, I'm working on this project, I don't have any experience, but I'd like to work, at your company if you give me the opportunity. So then it's a lot of networking. So you have it a little bit harder than others, but it's not impossible. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's what John is saying. You can add intern pulse internship. See, the same way that I was just putting it here. So then you can add it there, and then talk about what you did there. Talking like extensively what you did there, because you don't have any experience. You might as well just fill out the entire thing with the experience that you did at the internship. That counts as an experience because it's an internship. So you'll be fine. Is it a good idea to add a certificate link to a CV? It's not a bad or good idea. So you mean like if you already got the certification and then it's just like a link so that they see like it says like Bryam Loaiza certificate or something like that? Is that the question? Or is it just like, I did this program and then you added the link? I think it's just, you just want to mention it, they'll know it. And if they ask for it, then you'll give it to them. What about project? Yeah, so for projects, I would say yes, add like a link, because then they can see what you did. And if it's not deployed, maybe add a link to YouTube so that they can see them. Maybe you did like a demo, right? So try to record the demo and then they can have a link to the demo and then they'll see that you did something. Because if I only say that I did this website like Resume Boost AI, right? And then I don't have anything to show for, I could be lying, I could not be lying, so they don't know, right? So maybe I have a video about Resume Boost AI and what I did if the project is not on the web. And if it's on the web, then you can just put a link to it. Yeah, once again, you don't have to add the link to the certificate. They know it and they'll ask for it if they don't believe you, let's say. But it doesn't hurt to add it or not. If you got it, then it's fine. I know for Cisco and other companies, they offer like they give you like a number, so then the companies can check like if you got the certification or not. So maybe it's a good idea to add it. Can one have combined CV or a separate CV for different roles? It has to be like a separate CV for different roles. So you don't want to, if you're applying for like a, once again, if you're applying for like back-end developer, right? So you don't want to send them like a front-end developer resume, because it's gonna be tossed to the bin, right? They're gonna toss your resume to the bin, so that's not good. So you want to have something like, for example, mine. I have resume Bryam Loaiza, my name. This is John. Yeah. So yeah, I have a Bryam Loaiza resume, my name, and then it says like electrical engineering, and then I have another one that says software engineering or something like that, and then I have another one that says Autodesk, right? And then it's related to Autodesk stuff. So yeah, so it's better to have different resumes. It's a pain because you have to keep like selecting and deselecting them, but I think it's worth it. Yeah. Otherwise, you won't make it to the filters if you just use one resume for everything, because it's all about keywords once again. All right. Those are the questions from the chat here. I don't know if anyone has more questions. See, someone raised their hand, but yeah, I think I missed it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Does anyone have any more questions? I have a resume for IT support and cloud engineering. Should I separate them? Separate them from what? Like IT support and cloud from what? From software engineering, or from what exactly? If it's related, if it's kind of related, then you can use the same one. If you have one for IT support and cloud engineering, so let me guess, you use like a lot of AWS, you use a lot of, I don't know exactly some of these technologies, but let's say that you use like AWS, right? That's related to software engineering. So AWS is a lot of software engineering. So if it's related, then it's fine. But in my case, I had one for, I was a designer as well. So I was like using a lot of AutoCAD, right? So AutoCAD has nothing to do with software engineering. So then I had to separate it in my case. Or if it's front end and back end engineering, they could be combined into one, but then you're kind of trying to, pointing at two different things, so then they won't know. So it's better to be specific and have different resumes for different things. Even if it's a pain, just create maybe 1, 2, or 3 resumes max. Just have maybe 2 or 3 max. So then you have one for software, for backend, for front end, and maybe something completely different. Or maybe you just have 2. 2 is, it's easy, right, to have 2. So then, yeah, so you can do it that way. Can we get ATS score on resume boost AI? You can, but it's, so how can I put it? So this is, so different companies and different recruiters use different tools, right? So another thing that it's good to mention. So an ATS system, it's gonna parse your resume line by line, right? So let's say that you have one resume that has 2 columns. Then the parser won't be able to get through your resume because it's 2 columns, and it's kind of annoying, right? And it won't be able to extract all the information. So it's better to have something simple and compact, right? And then, so coming to your point, so the ATS, right? So I have a checker for, I think it's the AI checker. No, this is the parser checker, let's see. Yeah, so this is the ATS resume checker. So this one checks if it has some of the, like the phone number, which is personal information, if it has, common words and whatnot. So you can use this one. This one is free. You can use it, but this is not like the magic bullet for all the ATS systems. There are different ATS systems built in different ways that look at different things. So there is no one ATS system that rules them all, okay? Let's see if I have a resume here. Okay, let's just grab this one, the one that we just created, right? So I just uploaded, and now it's processing, and then it gives you like a score. But the score is no guarantee, of course, that that this is gonna make it through Google ATS system or like NetApp ATS system. Okay, see, this is a good one because it extracted most of the information. So the resume is compliant with ATS systems, as it has like a clear sections and it's structured correctly, right? So it's looking for your sections, the sections. The PDF, it's a PDF file, which is good. PDF is lightweight, so this is good. It tells you like it has like 315 words, which is good because you don't want to, like if it has 2 pages or something like that, then it's not that good. 1 page, right? So it's good because it's supposed to be 1 page, at least in the US, right? And then, so this is what an ATS system is, right? It's just going to extract your information and see how well it can parse it. So yes, so it detected the number, got the email, education, all of these, right? In this case, it didn't, yes, oh no, it is detected here. Skills is detected. The formatting, it tells you the formatting is how people use it. It's conventional and whatnot. No personal pronouns, which is appropriate. Okay, numerized data. See, it tells you like, okay, I saw that you included some numbers, right? So it's quantifiable, so that's good. The vocabulary, so it could be better, reading level, see? So if you have it and it's convoluted and it has like a lot of words, then the reading level is gonna go down. Common words, develop Python engineer software, achievements, see, once again, processing over, see, it just gets like the quantifiable achievements that you have on your resume. No explicit. Soft skills, I'm not a fan of soft skills. So if you say like teamwork, leadership, they already know that you're applying for a job and that those are no, like, I would include them if I didn't have anything else to include on my resume, but the keywords and the skills that really matter are the skills related to your job, like Autodesk, Python, JavaScript, accounting, or whatever you did, okay? Finance, I don't know what you did, but remember, related to what you did. See, here you have some of the skills. Yeah, and that's, you can use this one. It's a good practice to see if your resume has like it's good to be parsed, right? Okay. Is it okay to mention the number of years experience you had in the previous role when transitioning into a new role, receiving the career summary? Transition into a new role. Okay, so is it okay to mention the number of years experience you had in your previous role when transitioning into a new role? And the career summary, I don't think it will have much impact. So going back to the tools, so if you go to resume here, right? So let's say that you worked as an electrical engineer or site reliability engineer, right? And then, so you already have the dates. So the dates are like the years that you were at the previous role, because it already says like, okay, you work from here, from this time to that time, right? So then you don't have to put it in the summary. And if you're applying for a different role, it's not gonna make an impact, because if you were an electrical engineer and then you're trying to be a mechanical engineer, I don't know how transferable, the electrical skills will be to a mechanical engineer. Well, in that case, it's a bad example, because there are some things that can be transferable. But let's say that you are, I don't know, something completely different, like accounting, right? You did accounting. If you did like 5 years of accounting, that's not gonna help you get like a software engineering role, because you're an expert at accounting and no software engineering. So it's not gonna matter. And if you already have the accounting experience and you already have the years, then they can do the count. So then they can just count it, so it's fine. So you don't have to include it. Yeah. Let's see. Is there a place for filling some soft skills alongside the technical skills? Okay, yeah, you can always have like the soft skills here. You don't have to. You can make like a list, like just technical skills. I don't know, or hard skills. You can say you can just say like that, right? Hard skills and then soft skills. Or if you want to use like another for, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, but you can just have it like that. Or you can just list them like this. Or you can just do bullet points. I guess that's better. And they know what a hard and soft skill is, so you can just say something like this. Leadership, mentoring, I don't know if that's one. What else? Teamwork. Yeah, you can just have it like that. That also helps if you want. What are some red flags recruiters look out for in CVs? Okay, red flags. Sorry, something happened. No. Okay, yeah. So red flags. A red flag would be if at least in the US, if it's more than one page, that's not good. Of course, there are cases, there are edge cases, but if it's more than one page, it's actually, and it's not good. Another thing, the spacing, right? Let me see if I can look at a resume that I was reviewing the other day. Just want to show you that how convoluted it was. This one here. Guess it's better if I just show you. Yeah, so I was reviewing this resume in one of my sessions that I do every Thursday. You can tune in if you want to. We talk about resumes all the time. So see this resume here? Like, you can tell me, without even knowing anything about resumes, that it's way too convoluted. You see how it has like a lot of content, and sometimes content is not the thing to go for, right? Look at the summary here. It has like, it's a lot. It's a lot. You want to have maybe half of this, so maybe just cut it at that. See? You can, let's see, what else? Here, you see there's like, look at this. You see this company here, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's way too much. And another thing that's a red flag here, they include so you see, they include like developer experience, so like the area that they worked at. That's not necessary, and then they give you like a summary here. So that's also not necessary. You just want to have the bullet points. If you want to add this, you can just add it here. And look at the spacing. See, there's no spacing here. There's no spacing here. So it's just convoluted. It's just like a lot of content. This is not bad, like the format itself, but it's just like a lot of content. So just try to trim it. Try to make it look nice, right? Try to make it look easy to read. I guess that's the main thing. What else I can tell you about the skills? That's a good thing. Red flags. Another red flag would be to let's see. No, I think those are the main red flags. Don't have 2 columns because it's hard to read for the ATS systems. These recruiters, I don't know if it still works here, but like if you see, this one has over 100 applicants. But let me look at one that has, there are some of these that have like a lot of applicants. Before it used to tell you like the exact number. Now it only says like over 100 applicants. So before it was like, okay, 500 people, right? So if 500 people have their resume submitted, so do you think they actually look at the resumes themselves? Like, it's not humanly possible, right? So they'll have an ATS system to filter for them because it's just way too many resumes. Like a person cannot like go through 500 resumes. They won't get hired. Like they won't be able to, move the hiring process along for a month or 2 because there's like 500 resumes. So it's a game of keywords. It's a game of formatting. It's a game of doing the things the right way. Yeah. So let's see. Red flags. Great tool. Thank you. Yeah. So there's the link, and there you can connect with me if you have more questions. I think. I think that's it. Any last questions? Anything else? Any comments? Please leave it in the chat. And this is recorded, so you can watch it afterwards, so that you can improve your resume. Do you have any questions? Just add me on the link on LinkedIn, and yeah, just message me. I'll just DM me if you want me to look at your resume. Just send it to me. I can take a look at it. So yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you everyone. This is great. A lot of great questions. I really appreciate you tuning in actually to watch me. So I really appreciate that. And yeah, see you on the next one. Thank you. Thank you, John, for inviting me. Thank you.
Wow. Bryam, thank you so much for this incredible masterclass. So on behalf of everyone here, I want to thank you for sharing your expertise and passion with us, and also your great and amazing AI tool. Thank you so much, Bryam.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. It was a pleasure to do this. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Yeah, bye.